Apple's upcoming iPhone 18 Pro and iPhone 18 Pro Max are already making headlines, and the latest iPhone 18 leak suggests a major display change could be on the way. According to fresh reports, Apple may finally be preparing to shrink the dynamic island, giving users a cleaner, more modern screen design while keeping the premium look of its Pro lineup intact. The new leak claims that the iPhone 18 Pro series will keep bezels similar to current iPhone models, but the biggest visual upgrade could come from a smaller central cutout. That means the dynamic island. One of Apple's most talked about design features in recent years may become less noticeable while still keeping all of its smart software functionality. If true, this could be one of the most exciting iPhone display upgrades we've seen in a long time. For those who may not know, Dynamic Island is Apple's interactive software layer built around the display cutout at the top of the screen. It hides the front camera and Face ID hardware while also turning that area into a live multitasking hub. It can show music, playback, timers, calls, navigation, and other real-time alerts. But now, if the latest iPhone 18 Pro rumors are accurate, Apple is looking to make it even smaller and more refined. A known leaker, Ice Universe, says the iPhone 18 series will keep the same overall bezel design as the iPhone 17 lineup, but with a reduced dynamic island width. That is a key detail because it suggests Apple is not redesigning the entire front of the phone. Instead, it is making a focused upgrade that improves the user experience without changing the familiar iPhone identity. In simple terms, users may get more usable screen space and a less distracting cutout, while Apple keeps the premium design language consistent. This also hints at something bigger behind the scenes. To make the dynamic island smaller, Apple would likely need to reduce the size of the hardware underneath it. That means the front camera, Face ID sensors, or both may be getting more compact. Some reports even suggest that part of the Face ID system could move under the display. If Apple has achieved that, it would be a major engineering step toward a true full-screen iPhone. Another new leak has added even more excitement. A post shared by an account called Early Apple claims to show an image of the new iPhone display. In the image, the dynamic island appears noticeably smaller than before. There is also a visible circle lit up by camera flash near the left side of the display, leading to speculation that one of the Face ID components may be hidden under the screen. While the image alone is not enough to confirm anything, it matches the direction of other recent leaks, which gives the rumor more weight. Ice Universe later reinforced this idea by saying that all three iPhone 18 models may reduce the width of the dynamic island. That is a very important point. It suggests that the smaller dynamic island may not be exclusive to the Pro models forever. While the iPhone 18 Pro and iPhone 18 Pro Max are expected to launch first, the standard iPhone 18 may also adopt the updated design later, possibly in spring 2027. Still, there are some unanswered questions. One of the biggest is whether this smaller dynamic island will also come to the iPhone 18e based on Apple's usual strategy. That seems less likely. More realistically, the iPhone 18e may inherit the current generation dynamic island rather than the newest, smaller version. That would allow Apple to keep the Pro models more exclusive while gradually pushing older premium features into lower-cost devices. There is also the question of the long-rumored iPhone Fold. If Apple is really working on a foldable iPhone, will it use this smaller dynamic island to... Right now, nobody can say for sure. But another report from Bloomberg's Mark Gurman suggests something even more surprising. According to that claim, the foldable iPhone may not use Face ID at all. Instead, Apple could bring back Touch ID because the Face ID hardware is reportedly too thick to fit inside the slim body of the iPhone Fold. That would be a major shift. Face ID has been one of Apple's biggest security and convenience features for years, and the idea of a premium foldable iPhone returning to Touch ID would definitely spark debate. On one hand, it may be the only practical option if Apple wants to keep the foldable device thin and elegant. On the other hand, it would feel strange for Apple's most expensive iPhone ever to miss out on one of the company's most advanced technologies. Adding more confusion to the story is a questionable new rumor about the name of the redesigned dynamic island. A social media account claiming to be related to leaker Majun Bu suggested that Apple could call the new version Nano Island, but that name has not convinced everyone. In fact, many believe it sounds unlikely because the whole point of Dynamic Island is not just that it is small, but that it changes shape and function dynamically, depending on what the user is doing. The credibility of that naming rumor is also under scrutiny, while Majin Bu has a decent reputation in the Apple leak community. The new account spreading this claim appears suspicious and may not be authentic. That means the Nano Island branding should be treated with caution for now. It is interesting as a rumor, but far from confirmed. Even so, the broader iPhone 18 Pro display leak appears much more believable. Multiple sources are now pointing toward the same core change: a smaller dynamic island, similar bezels, and a more polished front design. When separate leaks begin aligning like this, it often means there is at least some truth behind them. Even if details like marketing names remain uncertain, if Apple really delivers this upgrade, the iPhone 18 Pro could become one of the most visually refined iPhones ever made. A smaller dynamic island would improve immersion during video playback, gaming, browsing, and everyday use. It would also bring Apple one step closer to the ultimate goal many fans have wanted for years: an iPhone with an uninterrupted full-screen display at the same time. This leak highlights Apple's long-term strategy. Rather than making dramatic external changes every single year, the company appears to be refining key elements step by step. First came the notch, then Dynamic Island, and now possibly a smaller version with more of the hardware hidden beneath the display. It is an evolution, not a revolution, but that is often how Apple moves when it comes to hardware design. So, what should Apple fans take away from all this? Right now, the strongest part of the rumor is that the iPhone 18 Pro and iPhone 18 Pro Max may feature a smaller dynamic island while keeping bezels mostly unchanged. The standard iPhone 18 may get the same treatment later, while the iPhone 18e could remain one generation behind. As for the iPhone Fold, its future remains uncertain, especially if Face ID cannot fit and Apple is forced to rely on Touch ID until Apple officially reveals the device. These are still leaks, not facts. But based on the consistency of the reports, the iPhone 18 Pro is shaping up to be a meaningful upgrade for users who care about display design, screen immersion, and the future of Apple's front-facing camera technology. Whether Apple calls it Dynamic Island, a smaller dynamic island, or something completely new, one thing is becoming clear: the front of the iPhone is about to change again.